Hare Krishna, dear devotees. I welcome all of you to yet another wonderful session glorifying His Grace Pankajangri Prabhu, reliving the memories of His Grace Pankajangri Prabhu. We are doing this weekly basis glorification of Pankajangri Prabhu, inviting different guests who are long-time residents of Mayapur or devotees who have had lot of association with Prabhu. And in that regard, today we have a very wonderful couple with us. We have His Grace Ganga Prabhu and his dear wife, Her Grace Raseswari Mataji. Both of them have been settled in Mayapur for a very long time. Prabhu joined ISKCON way back in 1974 in Italy, and since then he has been associated with ISKCON, and he has come and residing. He is staying in Mayapur since 1980. He is now living in Mayapur with his wife and his children. And Mataji has been very actively serving in Mayapur Academy, which is the deity worship course where ISKCON Mayapur offers all the deity worship courses. And Mataji is serving there as teaching devotees how to cook for the Supreme Lord. And in that regard, they both of them have had a lot of association with His Grace Jaranivas Prabhu and Pankajangri Prabhu and all the Mayapur devotees for a very long time. And therefore, we have them with us today. So we welcome both of them to our wonderful session, and we thank them for coming, for accepting to
come.
Thank
you for having us with you. And we'd like to offer our blessings to all of the listeners, all the great devotees who are listening to this program, because by listening to the glorification of the devotee, we become purified. Our heart becomes immensely benefited. Thank you for having us.
Yes, so as I was telling that you are there in Mayapur for so many years, when you came to Mayapur, Mataji and Prabhu, Mayapur would have been very small, maybe around 1,000 devotees, just a few families. We all knew each other very well. We know anybody comes to temple new, we know they are new, we know how old they are, we know everything. And so now the community has grown a lot. Mostly we don't know the faces who come to the temple, not like those days. But still, we see that there are a lot of constants in Mayapur. Like Radha Madhav is a constant in Mayapur. They are always there. So like that, we can say that the Jananyasru and Pankajangri Prabhu, they are a constant in Mayapur. Since the beginning, 1972, 1973, they were in Mayapur. And till 2020-21, they are still in Mayapur, both of them. So in all these years, the community and Pankajangri Prabhu, Janyas Prabhu, how was their relation? How do you see the relation all through the years? They were always a very important part. How is that experience?
See, I came in 79. I got picked up by the Sankirtan party. I met them in Kathmandu, and we reached Mayapur in 79. It was October and November. And my first experience, at the time, there were maybe maximum 100 devotees in Mayapur. Everything was a big rice fields. There were only two buildings, the Lotus building, and Radhamada was underneath the Lotus building. And of course, there was Prabhupada quarter, and there was a long building, the main gate, and the big kitchen, which was small at the time. So I was very new, and when I had an experience, because talking with the devotee, we talk about many subjects, and we knew the devotee had many powers and many things. So I saw one time Pankajang Prabhu enter into one door on the side of the temple, and then I'm seeing coming on the other side completely, after a few seconds, I say, oh my God, the devotee has mystic power. How is it possible that he went from that side to this side in a few seconds? And I was full of glasses. Then I asked the devotee, how is it possible? The devotee has mystic power. They can move from one. And I said, hey, come on, Ganga, don't play. There are two. I said, what do you mean there are two? They say, yes, there are two brothers. They're twins. I said, really? I didn't understand that there were two exactly the same looking person. So then I came to know them. I spoke to them. They were very gentle. They were very nice. They always give me prasadam, and they always speak nice, and they were very sweet. That was my first, experience of seeing Pankajangri and Jananyas Prabhu. They were very young and very effulgent. You can see you.
I saw Pankajangri and Janivas Prabhu when I used to come from Bangalore. We used to come for the festival. That was in 84. And initially, actually for many years, I never could differentiate between Pankajangri and Janivas. It took me quite a few years to understand who was Pankajangri. Actually, I think only when I came to live in Mayapur, I came to know who is Pankajangri and who is Janivas, just by their mood.
Yeah, their mood was always slightly different. Pankajang was always happy, jolly, talking to everybody and always joking. And Janivas was a little more reserved and more sober, more deep, but they are both wonderful personality, but they had different personality.
That was very sweet. The first
Yes.
meeting, the first time you
That
met,
is
and
sweet.
it is literally something that happens to everyone who comes to Mayapur.
Yes.
Suppose a guest, a pilgrim comes to Mayapur and he happens to come on a festival day. He comes right in the
Yes.
evening time or in the afternoon time when there is Abhishek or Adivas going on. Everybody will literally get shocked when they see two people standing on two sides and they look exactly same. It is just like when we enter a temple, we see Jai Vijay, they look
Jai
entirely
Vijay.
Yeah,
same.
correct.
Just like that, they both stand on two sides and they look exactly same. For pilgrims, it is really something amazing. Even when anyone who comes first time to Mayapur, this is something that attracts them. Two people looking exactly same. And staying in Mayapur, we all know how many confusions happen in the beginning days when we don't know how to identify who is who,
Yeah.
and
That's
then
true.
it takes time to understand
Yeah.
and actually for many devotees who stay a long time in Mayapur, after some time the two brothers look so different, they don't look
Yeah.
similar
Yes,
at all much. Now when
that's
we see
true.
both of them, we know exactly who is who.
I
Yeah.
remember even once when I went to, still when I couldn't differentiate between them, I went to Pankajangri Prabhu and said something. Then I came back and I told, actually it was Janivas Prabhu, I didn't know. And I said, and I continued. So then he was like confused. Then he said, I think he was speaking to Pankajangri. And then only I realized that it was.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
That is so common in Mayapur. I think the brothers must have faced this so many times.
Yeah.
Somebody
Yes.
talking to them, thinking them to be the other person. Yeah, so that was your first meeting with the brothers. So
Yeah.
as you stayed for more years in Mayapur, surely you would have had more interactions with them and you would have got to know more about their personality, more about their devotional qualities, because they were, so as Prabhu said, they were effulgent, self-evident that
Absolutely.
they are so
Absolutely.
pure and they emit the Vaishnava qualities and pure association all around them. So as time passed, you could narrate some exchanges like how you would spend time with them or how you would get to associate with them.
Well, the main thing is that they were always concerned about devotional service and also engaging others in devotional service. They always thought about the glorification of the Lord and the pleasure of the Lord. So because I was here now and for different purpose, like we wanted to put the Ananta Shesh behind Nishingadev. So they didn't know how we could install such a big, Ananta Shesh, which is made of brass, so I figured out that we can use a spring of a truck and fix it on the bottom, but it should be removable also, so that we can polish it and clean it. So I went and see it with Pankajang Prabhu. They allowed me to go on the altar and see, and then I came out with a plan, and we made a plan and we executed it and we fixed them. And there was a little funny pastimes, which I was drilling on the base of the Nishingadev deities, which is also made of black stone. And when I made the hole, in order to hold the bracket for this spring, to remove it and fix the Anantashesh, the drill wouldn't come out anymore. I made the holes, but the last holes, when I pulled out the drill, it was touching against the wall. I couldn't take it out. So I went to Pankajang and I told him, look, we have a problem here, this drill, I don't know what to do. We cannot take it out. I had to cut the drill bit, or we had to do something, He said, no problem. You just pray to Nishingadev, and Nishingadev will take it up. I say, are you for real or what? Are you joking? Serious? I say, yeah, no problem. Go and see now. I'll pray, we'll pray, let's pray together. Then you see it come out. So, okay, if she said so. Then I went back and I started the drill and came out. And I was thinking, what? How is it possible? How is it possible? And in Pankajang was laughing like anything. Say, the Lord can do anything. So have faith in the Lord, because the Lord can do anything. So that was a nice, but many other times also we did many services. I mean, he called me for making the alteration of what it's called, the Prabhavali of Prahlad Maharaj was a little too small, because the deity, when he came, they had this Prabhavali, which is an arch, which is decorating Prahlad Maharaj. It was a little bit too short because they couldn't put the crown and stuff. So he asked me, can we do something? We can alter it, make it bigger. I said, yeah, sure. I was going that time in Calcutta so many times, almost twice a week, because I was supplying the material for the Srila Prabhupada Samadhi. So I got 2 plates with a lotus flower, and then we had them, and he was very happy. But one thing we have to always remember, that Janivas and Pankajang, they're always happy. They're always happy. I never saw them once angry. I never saw them once morose. They're always punctual, to the point, ready to serve, ready to do anything for pleasing the Lord. In fact, John and Ivas went traveling all over the world, collecting for the T.O.V.P, fundraising, and they're not afraid of anything. And they're always thinking how we can please the Lord. This was the wonderful quality that we can observe.
That was Yes, Mataji, please.
My interaction with Pankajangri Prabhu was not so much, except I think when he asked me to start doing the Panakam for Nrsingadev from the 1 month that we offer Jaladan, when the Tulsi Jaladan goes on.
Maybe you can explain what is Panakam. Because
Panakam is a drink made from gur, that sugarcane gur, and then we add spices like dry ginger, elaichi, and a little lemon is also added to that. So that's a kind of a drink that is offered during that time,
when
that
it's hot.
1 month period when it is very hot.
It's supposed to be cool in the body.
Yeah, Pankajang Prabhu gave me that service to do the Panakam during that. He said, you're a South Indian, you know how to do that, and told me to do it. So that's how I got that service. And also, just before actually he was leaving, we were trying to get this shaligram, this the garland of shaligram that Nrsingadev wears. So I was helping him, not me, but just coordinating with Ganesham Prabhu from South, who's making these new cases, because the old ones were, many of them were broken, many of them, and then, we used to have a completely silver set and a completely gold set. Then with many things broken, then it started becoming like a, gold, silver and gold mixed together. So when Ganesham Prabhu wanted to do some service, so then I was telling him, why don't you do this, service of making the cases? So I was helping Pankajangri Prabhu, coordinating kind of thing, but it took a long time. Actually, it took more than 1 year, maybe more than a year, 2 years almost, and it's just going to come for this Nrsinga Chaturdashi. Hopefully it will come by the time the Nrsinga Chaturdashi, and we'll be able to see some new. It's a pity that Pankajangri Prabhu left before he saw those cases, but I'm sure he's looking at them. And just before, when he had the COVID, and he was in the Vamshi Bhavan or somewhere, I think. So then he rang me up and he asked me, what's happening with the Shaligram cases? And I told him, hopefully by Nashinga Chaturdashi, Ganesham has promised that he will be able to give the cases. Then he said, oh, one Mataji from Bangalore or somebody, she wants to donate the chain. Has the chain already been made? And I said, as far as I know, the chain has been made. But initially, first, when he phoned me, I was thinking, oh my God, how is he? He's got COVID. And so I said, Prabhu, how are you? And he said, I'm okay. I'm just getting better, he said. Then he said, I have COVID, you know, isn't it? He said, I said, yes, Prabhu, that's why I'm asking you how you are. He said, yeah, I'm getting better. He said like that. And then he asked me about the case and the chain. He was asking, then I wanted find out whether I could talk to that lady about that. In the end, he said, oh, it's okay. I will talk to her about it and I'll talk to Ganesham about it. I'll find out. And just give me the contact of Ganesham. And I sent him the contact and everything. That's the last I spoke to him, of course. And before, I mean, when I used to teach cooking in the Mayapur Academy, they used to come to grade the students for the
Test the
prasadam. Oh, but that was so, I mean, so nice. You know, they used to take each and everything, taste it, and give their comments, give their feedback. Oh, this is too salty, or this is too sweet, and this is like this. It's too tangy, and it's not hard. It's supposed to be this, and everything. You know, both of them taste everything. It was really like a very nice to watch them taste and reciprocate. And you know, something was very good, they'll say, oh, that's very good, and they take another helping of it. It was very nice, very nice. And a few times when they came home for lunch, we used to cook for them. Sometimes, at least a few times in a year, they used to come home for lunch.
We had a pizza party about 2 months ago.
Yes, 2 months ago they came home for pizza
with other devotees.
With other devotees, so
we have opportunity to serve all them.
I'm so thankful that I was fortunate that I was able to serve.
That was very, very memorable and sweet, because everything you say, it's very relatable, because when we see them day to day, we see all these qualities in them. And as Prabhu mentioned, a very wonderful pastime of how he helped in installing Anantasesh behind Narsinghadev. And he mentioned that how they always want, both of them want everything perfect for the Lord. They want the best for the deities. That's something we see every time there's a festival. Both of them, they go with the deity and come back with the deity. They want to keep them protected and safe, and always everything should go best properly with the deities. I remember Jananias were mentioning in a lecture in Bhagavatam class that Pujari is always anxious that the Lord goes and comes back safely home. So that was their mood. They're always very anxious. And we have seen that being in Mayapur, we see how they take care of everything very nicely during the Abhishek. Whatever it is, they take care of the deity very properly. And as I said in Mayapur Academy,
there's so much love when you can see the love they have for Radha Madhav when they serve them. Love for Narsinghadev. When they serve, you can see their mood and their everything.
That is what is. I mean, they have been heading the deity department for so many years, and they are the world gurus. Sorry for that. My mother's phone rang. Yeah, so both the brothers, they are the world gurus in ISKCON for deity worship. Anybody has a question, they immediately ask them. So in that, they were always the first. And as Mataji mentioned, Mayapur Academy, when they come to grade the students for Prasadam, for the Bhoga, they have food. That's also very memorable. Everybody who passes out from Mayapur Academy, they remember that.
Yeah,
they observe the face of both the Prabhus to know whether they like the food or they don't like the Prasad. And we know how from the face, they come to know whether it was very tasty or there is some changes to be made. So Mataji and Prabhu, you mentioned that Prabhu came to your house many times, and it's something in Mayapur that every devotee desires, that the two Prabhus should visit their house once. So how were those interactions when they came to your house?
very sweet and very, they're always talking, of course, because Chaitanya Prabhu also is a part of the,
Our
family.
family.
So then they're always talking pastimes of Prabhupada and what good old times of Mayapur and, all crack jokes about so many things that happened and things like that. So it's very intimate like that. It's very precious moments when they speak about Prabhupada, they speak about old times, and it's a pity we didn't record because
Yes. One
Yeah.
thing is that they are always childlike, even though they are 70 years old, but their mentality and their sincerity and honesty and their exposure, it's always childlike almost. There is no malignity
Innocent.
in them. They were very innocent and very, very jovial. Very jovial, like kids, Always you can say anything, Say, come on, join us. What are you doing today? No, it's that. So you can talk to them, just like, I just saw them now when I came back from Australia. I was talking in Pankajang. He said, hey, Ganga, you're back. Yeah, I say, yes, I was for 1 year with the Holiness Swami Maharaj in Australia. Say, how the kangaroos? So they're always joking, and always very happy and jolly. Always happy to see all the devotees. And so that was, their mood was childlike, how we can please the Lord, how the Lord will be pleased by our service, how the Lord should be not be neglected, how we can please Prabhupada, because this is his mission. And they were even though externally we may say they haven't achieved any big things or big GBC or name, this, they didn't build a big project. They did many simple service, but with their dedication was something which is extraordinary. Their punctuality also, they always teach that punctuality is very important, because Srila Prabhupada emphasized that, especially in daily worship, we should not be sluggish. We should not be like casual. We should not be so close that we can do whatever we think we want to do. Even though they're very, very advanced people and they were above Kanista and even Madhyama, I think, but their determination to please Srila Prabhupada and to teach other people about Krishna Bhakti and to teach other people how to serve. Because our life as a devotee, as a spirit soul is dedicated to the service of the Vaishnava community. And to Lord Krishna and to the mission of Srila Prabhupada. So they were 100% giving their life for this purpose.
So I remember once I asked Pankajang Prabhu that I cannot remember all the mantras and everything, when you worship the deities. I said, is it okay? Because it's easier for me to remember in English than in Sanskrit. Then he said, it's okay. Krishna knows English too. He said, you can say everything in English. It's okay. It's what is important is your mood in which you serve the Lord.
Yeah, Baba, what is called Grahi Janardana. Baba Grahi Janardana. They always emphasize that, what the Lord accepts is that mood of your heart, of devotion, how we are performing this devotional service for the pleasure of the Lord. And that's what is accepted. Krishna is not hungry of our mango or our sabji and chapati and puri, whatever we cook. But Krishna is hungry for our pure devotion from our heart, our love. So they are the epitome. They are the epitome of that, the leading spiritual teacher of that. Because whatever they did it with such a sincerity, transparency, honesty, and they never took advantage for their own sense gratification of anything. Many times people invite them for feast and this and that, whatever you want. Where if you want to serve the Lord, you can offer something. You can do service for Krishna. So this was always their mood was always to direct everybody to serve the Lord, which was very exceptional.
Jai. Thinking of those wonderful days must be very amazing and refreshing for both of you. The days they came to your house, the days they, the just remembering them is, it immediately brings a smile to the face. Both of them were, as you said, very innocent and very childlike. Just thinking of their past time, remembering them gives, smile to the face. So,
So,
Prabhu, you mentioned that you came to Mayapur around 1980. So you must have been there when we had the Panchtattva installed. And I remember even seeing the photos and all that you were there in Swami Malai when the casting was done, and when they came to Mayapur also. So at that time, how was your interaction with them?
well, I was mostly doing the service with Janani Prabhu. We, for 2 years, we went to South India. Every few months, we used to take a train to Chennai, and from Chennai, we take Banu Maharaj car, and I drive the car all the way to Swami Malai, which is further south than Chennai. And Janani is always, always very blissful, very happy, very simple. And sometime when we are making the deity, we are sitting there with the stapadi, and the stapadi would give us some peanuts and some buttermilk. And we used to joke and say, hey, we are working for peanuts. So, because, we are not getting a salary, we are not getting any material facility. What we want to do, we want to please the Lord. So we were, for 2 years, going up and down and checking this Panchatattva we was getting done. Sometimes we had to deal with the devotee, because the stapadi used to say, oh, the devotee, they come here and they chastise us. I said, what do you mean they chastise us? I say, yes, once the Lord was on the ground, they're still carving it and making adjustment, filing, and the devotee used to come and chastise them. How can you sit on the chest? Oh, Lord Chaitanya, my Lord. Then they leave everything and they go away and say, you speak to this devotee, Then we're going to speak to the devotee. Hey, look, the deity is not installed yet, okay? Relax, they're still working on it. And then when it comes to Mayapur, we will install it. Because devotee, their devotion is unlimited and they can see the Lord. Also, the sound, Johnny must say, whenever they used to, chisel it, it makes the sound just like kartal, ting, 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 ting. Say, yeah, look, the Lord is already doing kirtan, even though they're not manifested. So many jokes like that, and every night, we used to have a small temple in Swami Malai with a small video Gornidai, which was like, you can say, 3 inches, small Gornidai like this. So then they had a roof made of bamboo, and we used to do program there every day. And every night they organize a program in some different village. So we do Harinam, and then Janani Prabhu, we put him on a chair, and he will give a speech, which would be translated into Tamil. And then, the devotee want to take blessing. So we send them in the front. All the villager came and offered some fruits, some flour to Janani Prabhu, which he will take it back and give it to the devotees in the temple. So we used to call him the blessing machine. So I say, okay, tonight, you have to go and bless this village. We'll come with you because you are the blessing machine. Everybody wants to take your blessing. I used to laugh, But every night we are doing Harinam Sankirtan and then do program. Then we're going to take rest. We wake up in the morning and we go to the temple. He gives a class in the temple. We take prashana with them. And then we go to the Sapadi and work with them and supervise this work, which was very nicely done. When we think of manufacturing something of that size, we think about big factory like Tata Company or something like that, but nothing. This Tapadi, they had in the background of their house, they have a big yard with the grass and cows. We say, how are you going to make the deity? where is the machine, the lathe and the welding and things? And no, we don't do the system. We do another system. We do the system that they teach us from our forefather. And then you will see it manifest. So like that with Janivas Prabhu, we had a long time association. And we asked many spiritual questions about the soul, many things. So he was always answering from the scriptures, answering from Srila books. He never speculated, never say, I think this, I think that. No. So it was a very beautiful, wonderful association for me to have. And the DDR there on the altar is all their blessings.
That was very nice. You mentioned a very nice point that how he would not tell I think and they think or something, but he would always answer quoting the scriptures. That's something very nice. That we see that the two brothers, they were spending their time in the deity worship. They were also spending their time sometime in managing the deity department. At the same time, they would be there for all the morning program, the Bhagavatam class, the full morning sadhana in the temple, and they would also give sufficient time for reading the scriptures. And also, they have Mayapur Academy to manage also. So they used to do a lot of things in Mayapur, but still never ever compromise on the reading of the books, as we can see. Mataji, you would like to share?
Sorry. What?
I was thinking if Mataji would like to share some more memories of the Mayapur Academy days when they would come and assess the cooking, because we all know how amazing cook both you are. Actually, Mataji and Prabhu both are amazing cooks. And how would it be when you teach and the students would do cook accordingly, and then they would come and test the prasadam? So how was that pastime going on?
Actually more than I was not I was not teaching cooking for the course as such, but I used to have separate cooking classes during the festival time. So that was but I used to go for the grading because Mataji Arandalila used to call me for the grading of the thing, just so that I can give my input into the different items and the cooks, efforts and all these things. But actually for the academy, I think only once I have taught, not more than that. I was mostly teaching separate cooking classes for the academy, of course, but after the course, it was for the general devotees. But I think I was also in the first, or I don't remember the second. The first time that they started the course, when I attended the course, that time I was also in the school. And so then I was doing the course and the school together in those days. And it was such a, eye-opening experience, because, you think in Krishna, after being so many years in Krishna consciousness, you just take many things for granted, and you yeah, I know this, I know that. That's the gender, at least me, I'm too. So I was like that. But then during the course, when Janivas Prabhu and Pankajangri Prabhu, they were giving a course on festivals, it was just amazing to see how many different festivals different arrangements for the festival, and how interactive that course was regarding the festival. It was you take part in seeing how you can expand the festival and how you can make it more interesting, the festival. So it was a very nice module that we had on festivals, which I still have all the notes, and sometimes I just look through those notes to see the points that we jot down to see how we could expand different festivals. Of course, now we have recently added Panihati festival in our Mayapur from last year, from Guru Maharaj's enthusiasm and Guru Maharaj's initiative. So we have also added Panihati to the festival. So I remember Pankajangri Prabhu and Janivas Prabhu telling us that in the spiritual world, every day is a festival. So, I mean, Mayapur as such, if you see compared to other temples in the world, Mayapur is filled with festivals throughout the year. There is some festival or the other going on. And I think we owe it to this two brothers to make Mayapur such a festival day. Every day is a festival, you know. That is because of Janivas Prabhu and Pankajang Prabhu. They have made Mayapur like that. And worship to Radha Madhav and Nrsingadev and Panchatattva, that every day something or the other we have special for the deities.
It's like a spiritual circus.
Indeed, indeed. Whatever we see in Mayapur, every festival, even daily darshan, every day we can see the touch of both the brothers in it.
Yeah.
Also because we understand that behind the deity and the department, there's a lot of dedicated devotee. Because when you just see one garland, just take one garland or Radha Madhav, you know, it's huge. It is at least, you know, 8-9 feet long. And then all the gopis, they have a garland. Then Radha Madhav has another garland on his hand. Then who's making the turbans? And who's dressing the deity? And who's cooking the offering? And who is cleaning the place? And so I mean, there are unsung and unseen hero beyond the curtains. In the front, we see the pujaris worshiping every day. We see Janivas Prabhu is coming with a mirror. And we see the devotees who are externally appearing to us to see. But then we go to the kitchen, there is a lot of devotees cutting sabji, bringing the fruits, you know, fixing the electrical things, decoration, name it. There's a lot. We would like to appeal to all the devotees to recognize this unassuming, simple, you know, dedicated devotee. The other day I met the devotee who stitches the dress of the deity and say, how are you doing? How's everything going? Yeah, nice. We're making a new dress, you know. But I know this person is from like 30 years. He's there from when he was a kid. He's doing that service. So these are the people which amazes me. Of course, Janivas and Pankajang, that the leader, that inspired of everybody, but they're the people who keeps everybody else together because of their dedicated devotion.
Love.
The love for Krishna. It's like sometimes we can see the deities, cannot relate so much, but we can relate with Janivas and Pankajang that tell us, you can do this for the Lord will be happy. And then I can dedicate my whole life in doing this because I know if I cook for Krishna, if I stitch the cloth, if I make a garland, if I clean the brass, if I can do anything, any service for the Lord, I'm sure the Lord will be happy. So that's a beautiful mood of mine, that all the devotees want to serve the Lord. All the devotees want to participate in some way. We see this in the boat festival with the hundreds of devotees coming with their cooking, their pot. Even though it's not so organized, we can say it's very spontaneous. Everybody come with a pot. And then in the end, after offering, everybody distribute, and all the Mataji, they distribute their spaghetti and their aloo dam or whatever, puri, aloo sabji or whatever they cook. But this is a wonderful mood. That's what is pleasing the Lord when we are together in the mood of devotion serving. And that's very important.
We'll miss Pankajangri Prabhu in the boat festival this
year. Yes.
Even when the Tulsi Jaladan was going on, every day Prabhu would come and he would arrange the Jaladan for the Narsingha Shila. And there in Radha Madhav altar, Jananyas would arrange for Janardhan Shila.
Yes.
That is their service always. So if we go at that time, we get to see both of them.
Yes.
So as Prabhu mentioned, both the brothers, they have done their best and they have brought a Vaikuntha feel to Mayapur because Mayapur is a spiritual city actually.
Absolutely.
So being in the deity department, they have brought so many festivals. I remember Prabhu saying that he would go to Yoga Pit and see how the boat festival is happening there. And then he followed the same pattern and he started the boat festival in Mayapur.
Absolutely.
So like that, they're always trying to get more and more festivals in the list. We have the 1 month Akshaya Tritiya from
Ever
tomorrow
expanding.
starting.
the elephant procession. There's
Yes.
so many festivals, so many festivals.
Like
Beautiful.
both of them, when they go to any city or when they hear about different festivals, they try to imbibe it in Mayapur. Like elephant
Yes.
procession is from Guruvayur, from Kerala.
Correct.
So
Correct.
like that, whenever they hear about deity worship in any place, they try to immediately relate to Mayapur and see how they can.
They went to visit also while they were in South India. We went to visit all the temple and many places. So they saw and they observe and say, oh, we should do this, we should do that. Always for the pleasure of the Lord. It's beautiful.
So as Prabhu was saying that the unconditional love they have for Radha Madhav, for
Yes.
the deity worship. Like that, we also see that both the Prabhus, they had an unconditional love for Mayapur and for Navadvip Dham and for all the residents of Mayapur. They would
Correct.
never differentiate between anyone. We see that they're always equal to all and they love every person who is coming to the temple. Especially Pankajang Prabhu is known for his humor and his, his lovingness with the children in Mayapur.
Yeah.
He's very
Yes,
famous
yes,
among
yes.
the kids of Mayapur. I myself get more attracted to them because he always jokes around and he always gives a sweet sandesh. He tells very nice pastimes like that. So, as parents in Mayapur, when your children were growing up, how was the? I'm sure they would have got lot of association more than what we got in the later days.
That you'll have to ask them.
Also, they were in the Gurukul most
They
of the
were in
time.
the
Both the kids were in the
Gurukul, but Bhatta was helping the Stapadi. He was the Gofor. He was only 9-10 years old, I think. And he was in the Gurukul. So the Stapadi asked for somebody who could help and to provide all the tools they needed, sometimes files, sometimes emery paper or sandpaper, sometimes they need clothes, sometimes they need paints, and whatever they need. Bhatta was there, my younger son. And he was to run whatever they need. He knows, because he knows Mayapur very well. He speaks Bengali and he knows where to get everything. He was a sharp, street smart kid, so he could get everything. So the Stapadi say, oh, you give us a wonderful assistant, so we are able to accomplish this wonderful service. And in the end, when we did the installation, actually the Stapadi came to me, he was crying. He said, I've been into so many installations. I've been so many Jagya and Balaji, Tirupati, many places, but I never seen, installation of the deity like this in Mayapur. And he was crying. I say, now I can tell I am a Stapadi because I witnessed this installation of this thing. And he said, my ancestor would be very happy. So that was a very memorable. And this, thanks to Janavas and Pankajang, who were always there, assisting them, giving ideas, asking questions, and everything. So they also developed attachment for Janavas Prabhu because he was the person who was with them from the beginning.
Jai, that is so wonderful. How proud the Stapati would have felt when he saw the celebration in Maya when the Sattva was installed.
Yeah.
Sure, he must have felt. I mean, it was one of the biggest festivals in ISKCON's history.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. With Abhishek.
Yes, even today, every year we look forward every 5 years to see the Mahabhishek again and again.
Yes.
It's such a big thing. So we can imagine the first time when Panchtattva were installed, such
The
big deities in his country.
People were crying, yes.
Devotees were crying. Devotees were crying.
Yeah, the mercy of the Lord was very palpable, you can feel it.
So thank you so much, Prabhu and Mataji, for joining.
Thank you
Just
for
giving
giving
us
us
a
an
nice
opportunity to remember Pankajangri Prabhu.
Thank you. And we ask the blessing of all the Vaishnavas so we can remain in Mayapur and be engaged in devotional service. And with that blessing, we can also,
follow in the
glorify
footsteps of
Pankajang,
Pankajang.
of the great devotees. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
We and the viewers and from Mayapur.com team, we thank both of you because when you share all these things, it is making Pankajang closer to our hearts. We are able to remember him. Even those who would have not seen him or got his association, they are getting his association now by hearing both of you speak. All the speakers and especially you share such wonderful pastimes since the early days. So thank you so much for coming, Prabhu and Mataji, and sharing these wonderful
Thank you. Thank you so
pastimes.
much.
Thank you so
Hare
much,
Krishna.
Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Haribol.
Haribol.